Okay, so story time with Chuck here. I got MegaCon coming up within a couple of days this very weekend. It being Tuesday right now.
At the light, turn left onto Palm Avenue.
Thank you, GPS. I don't know if that went on the camera or not, but we'll find out when we upload. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about some of my favorite interactions with celebrities. Going way back to my first convention, which was Tampa Bay Comic Con 2023. First celebrity that I met was Jim Cummings. Great voice actor. Name a cartoon, he's probably done a voice in it. And the thing that I said to him, and also on subsequent visits, having him do autographs for me, first thing I said was, thank you for voicing 90% of my childhood. And then I asked him a couple of questions, one about the Extreme Ghostbusters theme that he recorded, whether or not there's a full version, get it released, blah, blah, blah. And then the other one was because he does a really good Cajun accent, because he grew up in that area, or he worked in that area for a long time at least. I'm like, have you ever thought about doing maybe a cover of Amos Moses, using that? And he's like, no, I never really thought about that. So I had a pop of Monterey Jack that I got from like GameStop, I think it was. It was like an exclusive to a box full of random stuff. Anyway, so a little nervous. The second one I met was Rob Paulsen. And I have to say, hands down, Rob Paulsen is probably my top 5 interactions in general, because I've never seen him sitting at his table. He's always out front talking face to face with the people who are coming to visit him, which is awesome. He gives a very personal experience to whoever's there, and he'll talk to you, not at you. So it's really cool. And he was just so energetic. I'm like, you got like a big cup of coffee or some Coke back there or something? He's like, no. He goes, how do you keep your energy up? He goes, honestly, it's you guys. He goes, I could just come out here and go narf, and see you start cracking up, which I did. So, and this is my first con, so I'm a little, I'm a little sketchy, little flustered, I guess, talking to people who I've listened to do cartoon voices for my entire childhood, so it was pretty cool. And I was a little apprehensive, a little starstruck, if you will. And then I met Maurice LaMarche, had him sign a Egon figure, the re-release that we did a few years ago, which started another collection of signatures on Ghostbuster toys. But anyway, I spoke to him a little bit about Ghostbusters, and I actually gave him, I don't know if you know or not, but I had a pin made of the Ghost Chasers logo that was a parody that was done in the show The Critic. It had 3 bars on it, and the ghost was like behind bars. And because there was 3 bars, I thought that would be a great logo for a 3rd film. And at the time, Ghostbusters Afterlife was kind of circling around, or at least it was in the works. So I had that made. I also have it on a shirt, which is in my store on Redbubble. But anyway, I gave him that because I think he did tons of voices on The Critic as well. And I think I had a shirt of Pinky and the Brain as Mythbusters, Jamie and Adam, and I had both of them sign it. So anyway, so the second convention I went to, I think, I'm trying to remember who I got signatures from. I don't think I did. I think I just went to the costume contest, or did the costume contest, and I ended up meeting Mick Foley, really cool guy. Won't discuss politics with him, but hey, everybody's got their own thing, so whatever. But as personal interaction, great. I got to ask him. I said, first of all, I know you're tired of fielding questions about Hell in a Cell. He's kind of nods, yeah. I'm like, I have a logistics question. How did the tooth get in your nose? He goes, I think it just went from here to there. Any idea that it went back and through? Didn't happen. All right. Let me see. Who else? And then I ended up meeting Jim Cummings again. Had him sign a Darkwing Duck. This time I was a little more looser, being able to talk to people. And I asked him, I said, first of all, I said, first of all, thank you for voicing 90% of my childhood. He goes, wait, 90%? He goes, I'm mad. Who got the other 10? And he pointed over at Rob Paulson. He goes, was it him? I go, yeah, it probably was. And I was dressed up in my Forerunner outfit. And he goes, did you fall out? And I said, I fell out. Not knowing that he did a voice in the original Fallout game. Of course, I never played that game, but still. Apparently someone the day before was dressed up as Winnie the Pooh in a vault suit. So I'm mad that I missed that, because that would have been cool. So I had him sign the Darkwing Duck, and I asked him, I said, listen, just out of curiosity, I said, out of everything you've done, what's the one thing that you regret doing? I don't remember what he said, but given his answers to that on his podcast and everything, I think it was the movie that he did, like The Mutilator or something, where he was miscredited as John Cummings. So I said, I thought it would have been Garbage Pail Kids. And he kind of like someone hit him in the face with a dirty diaper or something. And he's like, yeah, I forgot about that one. He goes, then again, it was pretty forgettable. I said, well, personally, my favorite is the giant floating cupcake that spits tobacco. That's a deep cut. If you don't know what movie that's from, it's from Cabin Boy. It's a really goofy, stupid kind of comedy. Stupid in a good way. And he plays a hallucination of the main character. It's a giant, fat, floating cupcake that spits tobacco and talks, obviously. And it was Jim Cummings' voice. And he's like, yeah, what movie was that? I said, it was Cabin Boy. Oh, yeah. Chris Elliott, yeah. Oh, man. I like asking questions of people that they don't get often. So, so I talked to them for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, thank you very much, and, went on my way. I'm trying to remember who else I did. I did get an autograph from John Delancey, but there was not much to talk about for me, unfortunately. So I didn't really ask him any questions. I'm like, hello, sir, thank you. And that was it, in and out. Had him sign a Hue figure. Original release from the 90s Playmates figure. Anyway, what else was there? Oh, and then recently, I went to Ranger Stop in Orlando. This is last year, 25. And they had all 4 voice actors for the original Ninja Turtles. So I went to Rob Paulson. I think I might have made him mad. Because I said something about... I said, I have to say that Kids WB made one of the best things you're known for annoying. He's like, what's that? And I said, Yakko's Whirl? He goes, yeah, they played the S out of that, didn't they? And I don't know, it's the way he said it, I might have pissed him off, but I don't know. So I just kind of was quiet. I didn't say anything else. And so he signed, he had a turtle van. The more upper scale Hot Wheels release of the turtle van. So I had him sign that. And then I went to Townsend Coleman. This is another one of my top 5 experiences with a celebrity, because first of all, the first thing I said to him, I said, first of all, I had to say favorite turtle growing up. He goes, that's what we like to hear. And then we got to talking about the Tick. We spent most of the time talking about the Tick. And talking with him about the Tick was like talking to another fan of the Tick. That's how it was. It was just so casual, which was really cool. To the point where I said, I saw you on Jim Cummings' podcast, and he did Thrakkerzog, and episode of he also did Thrakkerzog was in the episode of The Tick versus the Common Cold, and then he also did Barry, the other Tick, in Tick versus the Tick. And I go, that was probably one of my favorite lines. And I did Jim Cummings' bit, and I go, where's the jerk who calls himself the Tick without missing a beat? Townsend Coleman, I am that jerk who wants to know. It's just picked right up. And I swear it was really cool. We were talking about the two different live action shows, the one that was on Fox and then the one on Prime, Amazon, which, you know, he's like, I'm like, I thought they were going to go somewhere with that. He goes, yeah, me too. And if you've ever seen it, you know, there's like implications of what the Tick is and where he came from. Like he's maybe like a manifestation of Arthur's psyche or something, because he had a tick, like an actual, you know, facial tick. And then when the Tick first shows up, he says, I'm the Tick. Like, you should know what this means. Plus, there was like a blue canary in the outlet by the light switch or something when he was younger that had the Tick's voice talking to him. I don't know where they were going to go with that, but it would have been really cool to find out. If they would have done a season 3, I don't know why they didn't. Maybe it lost audience because they went like kind of R-rated with it. They should have kept it more PG-13, in my opinion. I think they probably would have reached a broader audience. But yeah, we were just like, we were talking about the Tick versus the mustache or whatever it was. Yeah, you know, it was probably one of the coolest voice actor experiences I've had. Then I got to meet who else was it? Sergeant Slaughter, that was really cool. I had some pictures on a video up at UltraCon in West Palm. So that was really cool. I got put in a Cobra Clutch, which was... I got to meet freaking Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe. I mean, it was cool. What else? I got to meet 4 members of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I am blanking on the names right now. I don't remember the guy's name. I feel bad. Walter Jones, thank you. Got to meet him. He's really cool. I had on my It's More Fun Time shirt, also on my shop, Redbubble. And I was wearing the green one. It's done up like the Power Rangers logo, and it says It's More Fun Time. And I gave him a copy of the shirt. I also gave one to the second Yellow Ranger. I don't remember her name. Please forgive me. The second Pink Ranger and then the second Red Ranger, who was also there, in their respective colors. So it was really cool. I have a picture of Walter Jones holding the shirt. You know, I got to thank them, you know, for doing everything for the fans and you know, being part of my childhood. Even though it's probably a little too old to be watching it at the time, doesn't matter. It was like the thing to watch at the time. We always acted embarrassed. Oh, we don't watch that. What are you talking about? What else was there? Yeah, so I'm expecting to have similar interactions at MegaCon. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video. I talked about MegaCon, but I'm going to be meeting... why is my mind just like gone right now? Frank Welker, there we go. Forgive me. I'm meeting Frank Welker. I'm going to be having him sign a Stay Puft figure, the re-release that they did. I have had him already sign. I didn't do it myself. I had a friend who was going to MegaCon a couple years ago, and he got it done for me. Ray, obviously, and Slimer. So, and apparently he went into doing voices and stuff like that, and had this whole conversation. My friend tells me between Slimer and Ray, which was, I would have loved to have seen that or experienced that. But so I'm going to actually ask him 2 things that I can guarantee he would have never been asked. One, he did a recording of, I think it was called like Very Silly 12 Days of Christmas, which, look it up. It's been on Dr. Demento a handful of times over the years. It's very funny. It is also very dated, but it's still very funny. And he also did work on the American specials for Spitting Image, which I'm very upset that never continued to be a thing in America. But, alas. So he did the voice of Ed McMahon, who was the Great Mentioner. He was basically the head of the Famous Corporation. in that. So I just wanted to ask him, like about the song. How did that come about? Were there any other recordings he did in that vein? And then about Spitting Image of how he got involved in all of that. Just kind of basic questions about those things. I can guarantee he's never been asked about that. He probably asked 1,000 times about Fred and Scooby-Doo or Ray or Megatron or a litany of other things that he's done over the years. The other two signatures I'm getting is Ron Perlman. Those who know me know I like me some Fallout. And he literally introduced me to the world of Fallout, which is something I'm going to say. First of all, I want to say thank you for literally introducing me to the world of Fallout. I have a replica mini nuke that is from the Fallout anthology, which was 1, 2 Tactics, 3 and 4, I think, in New Vegas. And it came in like a mini nuke thing. So I'm going to have him sign that. Appropriate that's the first signature I'm having on that. And then I'm going to have Jim Cummings. He's going to be at a different convention. He is going to be at MegaCon, but his prices are a little expensive. So I'm going to wait until he goes to the Collecticon. That's going to be later on in the year. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less expensive, and I can get him to sign that as the master from Fallout 1. So hopefully I can get Ron Perlman to sign it and put maybe War Never Changes on there.
There are police reported ahead.
Okay. GPS interruption again. Anyhow, this is all stream of consciousness. I'm sorry, I'm going rambling. I'm going to be rambling on for about 25 minutes or something like that, and I do apologize. But if you stick with me, great. If not, then you probably have no idea I'm talking right now. Anyway, I'm also going to see if I'm writing a story. I'm writing a story based on the Forerunner character, based here in Florida, aka the Sunshine Waste. And I have like a little intro that, fingers crossed, I can actually record him reading. I doubt it. Very, very heavily I doubt it, but you never know. I'm going to bring a copy of it. I'm going to have a lavalier mic on me anyway, so I can record things. There's also going to be like a little, in one of the rooms in the convention, they're going to have done up for, I think, Fallout for Hope, St. Jude's charity. It's going to be like a Fallout environment, kind of a Fallout experience, they call it. So, with like life-size robots and other things like that, like I think a Red Rocket environment in there as well. So it'd be really cool. I can't wait to go through there. I'm going to video that definitely after I do my walkthrough of it personally. So. And then the third signature that I'm going to get would be Vegeta. But not the one you think. Brian Drummond, the original Ocean dub Vegeta, which I've never seen, honestly, but I like me some Vegeta. So I'm going to have him sign the Badman Vegeta Pop I have. And I really wish I can remember the line he says about a decorative flower, because I would have him write that on there, but I don't know what the line is. I can't find it anywhere online either. So I do have a secondary pop. I might have him sign also. It's Vegeta with the Scouter from his first appearance, essentially. But it all depends on how much money I have, and I'm going to be here for 2 days, so I'm going to leave that one for the second day. If I didn't find anything cool on the sales floor, then I might pick that up. Have him sign that one too. But other than that, a friend of mine, Steve, who's been my con buddy for the whole time, ever since my second convention, which I don't remember which one it was, but anyhow, he's going to be visiting and getting signatures from such people as Mr. T, who's going to be there. Of course, I have to meet Mr. T. That I'm going to piggyback off of that, and just, even if I'm just standing there and if he shakes my hand, that's fine. I grew up watching A-Team. So, this freaking Mr. T. I would get a signature from him, but it's quite expensive, and I'm already spending probably more money than I need to in preparation, and therefore also going to the convention. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I wanted to at least talk about those couple of times I spoke to some of the celebrities, which I thought was really cool. If you've ever met anybody at a convention, a celebrity, voice actor, or whatever, tell me your favorite experiences in the comments. And stay tuned, because the next video I upload is probably going to be from MegaCon. And it might be about a week after. Especially if I have to edit things. Or I might just upload various, raw clips, which would probably be easier for me to do. So follow me on Instagram at ox_bigly, BIGLY. Because I'm probably going to post photos there of awesome things that I get to do at the convention. Last time at MegaCon last year, I got to sit inside the Smegging Ecto 1 and the 89 Batmobile.
Go past Southwest 101st Road and turn
that was
right
just
onto
cool.
Florida 84 East.
I mean, how often do you get to say something like that? So, I am definitely going to be posting pictures.
Turn right onto Florida 84
So follow
East.
me there if you want to see some of that mess. And I guess that's it. 21 minutes, not 25. Okay, bye.